Have you ever wished you could visit an alien planet? Well, what if I told you that you actually can, and it's right here on Earth? Today, we're diving into an island so bizarre, so completely unique, it's often called the most alien-looking place in the world. Get ready for Socotra. Just look at this. This is Socotra. It's an island that belongs to Yemen, kinda just floating out there in the Indian Ocean. And right away, you can see it doesn't quite look like it belongs in our time, does it? It's more like a photograph from a prehistoric world. And you know, it's not just a feeling you get from the pictures. Everyone who goes there, scientists, visitors, even the locals, they all say the same thing. Arriving on Socotra is like stepping into a time machine. So what is it? What makes this one island so profoundly different from anywhere else on the entire planet? Well, the secret to Socotra's beautiful and, let's be honest, bizarre identity really comes down to two huge things. Its extreme, ancient isolation and the incredible ways life had to adapt to survive there. You've heard of the Galapagos, right? The islands that basically gave us the theory of evolution. Well, you can think of Socotra as the Galapagos on steroids. It's this living, breathing laboratory of evolution that's been running its own wild experiments for millions of years. And get this, more than a third of all its plant species are endemic. Now that's a sciencey word, but all it means is that you can find them here on this one island and absolutely nowhere else on Earth. It's like a living treasure chest of biology you won't find anywhere else. So how on earth did that happen? Well, the key, like it so often is in evolution, is isolation. But we're not talking about just being remote. Socotra's isolation is on a geological timescale. It's way older and way more profound than almost any other island out there. See, Socotra didn't just pop up out of the sea as a volcano. No, it's actually a piece of land that broke off. It was once part of the gigantic supercontinent called Gondwana. That means the plants and animals on it were already ancient before the island was even cast adrift. For 18 million years. Let that sink in. For 18 million years, this chunk of a continent has been totally on its own. That's millions of years for life to evolve on a completely separate, undisturbed path. It's a truly epic evolutionary story. So, what's the most famous result of that 18 million year experiment? Oh, it has to be this. A tree so strange it looks like it was literally designed for a science fiction movie set. Meet the dragon's blood tree. I mean, come on, that shape is just unmistakable. It's like a giant inside-out umbrella, or maybe a UFO parked on a trunk. These incredible trees cover the highlands of Socotra, creating forests that look like they belong on another planet. So why the super dramatic name? Well, if you cut the bark, the tree bleeds this thick, dark red sap. For centuries, this stuff, this dragon's blood, was incredibly valuable. Ancient Romans and Greeks sought it out for everything from medicine to paint. But that wild shape, it's not just for looks. It is a masterpiece of natural engineering, a design perfected over millions and millions of years to solve a very specific problem. So what's the problem? Survival. Plain and simple. That dense, upturned canopy acts like a giant net. In a climate that's pretty dry, it's perfectly designed to catch moisture from the morning mists that roll through the mountains. That water then drips down to the roots, so the tree literally creates its own water supply. It's absolutely genius. But the alien landscape of Socotra isn't just about this one tree. Not at all. The entire island is this incredible collection of surreal wonders, both plants and geology. The strangeness is literally everywhere you turn. Okay, so check these out. On the left, that's the desert rose. It looks kind of like an elephant's leg with these beautiful pink flowers on top. That swollen trunk is basically a water tank, which lets it grow right out of bare rock. And on the right, that's the Detwah Lagoon, where these massive white sand dunes just plunge straight into the turquoise ocean. And believe it or not, the weirdness continues underground. The island is just riddled with these huge limestone cave systems. This is Hoyuk Cave, and it runs for miles into the earth, a hidden world with rooms as big as cathedrals and these incredible ancient rock formations. So what makes all this possible? It's the island's rugged backbone, the Hagir Mountains. They shoot up right from the center of the island, and that creates all these different little microclimates. You've got misty highlands that are perfect for the dragon's blood tree, and then you have these dry coastal plains where the desert rose just thrives. So when you put it all together, the deep history, the extreme isolation, this incredibly varied landscape, you get a place of almost unbelievable biological importance. Socotra isn't just some weird little island. It's a global treasure. The numbers really tell the story here, and they are staggering. We mentioned that 37% of plants are unique, but look at the animals. 90% of its reptile species, and a completely mind-blowing 95% of its land snail species are found only on Socotra. They literally exist nowhere else. The sheer scale of it all is just incredible. Beyond the famous plants, you've got this whole world of unique birds and insects, and that's not even counting the rich marine life around the island, with hundreds of species of fish and coral. It is a complete, one-of-a-kind ecosystem. And because of this completely irreplaceable life, the world has taken notice. Its official status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site basically confirms that Socotra is a place of outstanding universal value. It's a treasure that really belongs to all of us. Which, of course, brings us to the final and most critical question. This living museum is incredibly fragile. Things like invasive species and climate change are a huge threat. It took millions of years for evolution to create this masterpiece. So how do we make sure it's still here for the future? How do we become guardians for a world that isn't quite our own?